Hey, there's a full moon for Halloween. Yeah, that.
Let's skip ahead a bit. There's 16-year-old me.
Hello.
I used to play drums. I played for years. I don't think I ever actually got any good at them, but I sure was loud. You can happily suck at something as long as you are loud enough to drown out any criticism. It also helps explain away the tinnitus now, hearing damage from loud drumming in my formative years. But tinnitus is a buzzing or a ringing. It's not a siren, or music, or voices. For some reason the sounds would get louder, no, clearer at night. I was sure they were coming from above me. Once I got hold of this camcorder, I amassed countless hours of footage of the night sky. Here I am just wandering the woods, following something. There was an old mental hospital building in Sligo. Not long after it shut down, my friends and I would visit and just pick through the remains in the hallways. I know it sounds like I'm making this up, but you can Google it. It was called St. Columba's. It's been rebuilt now as a fancy hotel. They even kept the facade of the old hospital because it was such a nice building. If anywhere is begging for a haunting, it's that hotel, right? Stephen King would say it's too much. My dad called the old hospital the Leitrim Hotel, which was ironic. He called it that because all the staff were from Leitrim. A lot of the guests too, I'm told. It's the Clayton now, though older maps still list the location as Mental Hospital Road. We used to go there as teenagers. The skaters would smoke weed and break stuff. I'd disappear into the walls or the rafters and see what I could find. I knew a guy who'd stolen a crucifix from the old chapel and I wanted a similar souvenir. We'd find boarded up rooms and incongruous, out-of-place items, mannequins, Christmas lights, random books. Years later I met someone who worked in the heyday of the hospital. She asked if I'd ever gone into the basement and I said no. I never did. She said there were arched alcoves in the walls, and one was bricked up when she started working there. No one would tell her why. She told me this with a very specific look. There is a look that small town people have to communicate that what I am talking about now is a very serious crime, but no one looked into it then, and no one is going to look into it now. You should be aware of the situation, but you should also be careful what you say about it. She told me there was another building, way up in Hazelwood. That's where they would put the screamers. No one would hear them in the woods. That building is a pharmaceutical plant now. If St. Columba's is a Stephen King novel, Hazelwood House is a Resident Evil game. I don't know where I go when I hear this siren, but I tend to come out of my daydream near an antenna or a radio tower. I was once picked up by the army because I'd wandered off a beach and apparently broken into an airbase. I just remember it as a nice walk.